You know, that feeling when you make an AI video. You spend hours crafting the perfect initial text prompt. You finally generate this absolutely beautiful first video clip. Beat. It looks exactly like the vision in your head.
Yeah, I mean, the lighting is just totally gorgeous.
Right, and the physical motion is incredibly smooth, but then the second clip completely ruins the entire sequence.
Oh, absolutely. The main character's face just morphs entirely into someone else.
Or the red jacket mysteriously becomes blue denim. The setting randomly jumps around without any logical reason. A quiet coffee shop suddenly looks like a crowded spaceship. It is, well, a deeply universal frustration for many creators.
You just feel like you have absolutely no creative control.
Exactly. Beat.
Okay.
Let's unpack this. Welcome to our deep dive into continuous storytelling today. We are going to master a very specific workflow. We will solve this exact continuity problem step by step.
And we're pairing two extremely powerful tools to achieve this. We are using Claude Fable 5 and Google Flow.
We will break down a clear, highly repeatable methodology today. This method does not rely on getting lucky prompt generations. It keeps your characters perfectly consistent across long video sequences. It stops your story from randomly breaking apart completely. 2-sec silence. Before we generate any video, context really matters here. We must understand why we're using these specific tools right now.
Right, so Claude Fable 5 actually came back online recently.
It was blocked briefly due to strict U.S. export rules.
Yeah, Anthropic had to take it down for a short time. Now it operates with a brand new safety layer.
Meaning filters that stop the AI from making harmful or banned stuff.
Exactly. It was a brief hiccup, but the new version feels incredibly stable. It is highly reliable for complex, multi-step reasoning tasks.
We use Fable 5 specifically for the prompt writing tasks. It handles extremely long and layered prompts quite beautifully.
It can balance specific character details and complex scene logic. Best of all, it does not drop important details halfway through.
Then we pair it directly with Google Flow. Flow runs on the powerful VO video generation engine.
Flow is crucial here because it takes reference images perfectly. It actually uses those reference images as core storytelling ingredients.
Most platforms struggle to lock in specific visual character traits.
Flow actually anchors the generated video directly to your uploaded image. The workflow is honestly quite simple. You write the complex prompt inside of Fable 5 first. Then you pass it directly into Google Flow's visual interface. There is no middleman tool required in this entire workflow.
I guess what I'm wondering is why the handoff? It feels like a lot of extra work. Why not just generate the video natively inside Fable? Or do the prompt writing directly inside of Flow?
You would think that would be easier, right? But it is fundamentally a left brain, right brain problem. Flow has this hyper-realistic visual engine, but its underlying narrative memory is basically a goldfish.
So it forgets that your character's jacket has a specific zipper.
Exactly. Fable, on the other hand, has superior logic for tracking very complex details over time, but it doesn't actually generate the video. You really need Fable's brain and Flow's visual paintbrush.
Normal AI video generation is a highly chaotic process. It feels a lot like navigating a very chaotic dream. Faces constantly morph and shift without any warning whatsoever. But using Fable 5 and Flow together is entirely different. It's like stacking Lego blocks of data. It keeps the underlying reality completely solid and grounded. Beat. So Fable writes the exact instructions and Flow paints the moving picture.
Exactly. You need both to keep the illusion alive.
2-sec silence.
Okay, so Fable is the brain and Flow is the canvas. But even the best painter needs a strong visual reference. If we just toss our character into a scene blindly...
The AI is going to improvise her face differently every time.
Right. So how do we lock in her DNA before we yell action? We need a very strong visual foundation to start with.
We begin by generating a master character sheet first. This happens first inside of the Fable 5 chat window. You describe your character with extreme visual and physical detail. Let's say you ask for an Asian woman in her late 20s.
She needs shoulder-length black hair and very sharp facial features. Yeah, and she wears a dark red bomber jacket and cargo pants. She has worn white sneakers and a small black backpack.
You must request multiple camera angles in this initial prompt. You need front views, profile views, and detailed close-ups. And here is the kicker. You must specify a completely neutral background environment.
You paste this detailed prompt into Google Flow next. You select the Nano Banana Pro image model for this. You set it to high quality for a sharp reference image.
Flow returns a sheet with several angles of your character.
Then you jump back over to the Fable 5 interface. You stay in the exact same chat window session. Fable remembers every single detail about her specific outfit. You just ask it for the first frame of the scene.
A Chinatown dumpling shop on a very warm evening. Steam is rising slowly off the hot, steaming food trays. Warm light is coming directly through the front shop window.
You generate the still frame inside of Google Flow next. You attach the character sheet as your core reference image.
Flow gives you the first still frame of the scene. It shows the character and the beautiful setting perfectly together.
Yeah.
I have to admit something here. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, it happens to everyone.
I lose track of character outfits all the time. I'll get 3 scenes in, and suddenly my hero is wearing a completely different shirt. It drives me crazy.
That is incredibly common, and it is exactly why the neutral background setting matters here.
I wanted to ask about that, actually. Why not generate her in the shop right away? Why take the extra step of a blank background?
Because we have to think about how AI sees images. When AI models generate video, they are constantly looking for visual patterns. They reconstruct images from pure digital noise. If you put a character in a red jacket inside a red room, the model's attention mechanism gets completely confused.
And an attention mechanism is basically how the AI decides which specific pixels matter most.
Right. So the math literally cannot tell where the jacket ends and the wall begins. The pixels just bleed together entirely. That is why we have to isolate her on a neutral background first. It forces the AI to learn her specific edges. It learns the exact shape of her face without any shadows confusing the data.
It is like taking sterile actor mugshots. You capture them perfectly before dropping them onto a chaotic movie set.
That is a perfect way to look at it. A clean reference isolates her core visual identity completely.
You need a clean master blueprint before dropping characters into a messy scene. 2-sec silence. All right, we have our hero perfectly framed right now. We have our atmospheric setting established beautifully. But a good story desperately needs some real narrative conflict. It requires physical motion and actual dramatic action.
Yeah, you need something to actually happen.
Right. So how do we introduce action into this quiet dumpling shop scene? We need to create some bad guys next.
We go back to Fable 5 for a new prompt. We ask for a brand new character reference sheet. We need 3 thugs in their 30s for this scene. They wear black leather jackets, torn jeans, and heavy boots.
But we can't just leave it at that, right?
No, we have to give each one a very distinct visual detail. This ensures they are very easy to tell apart later. One has a dark neck tattoo, clearly visible. One wears a baseball cap pulled down low. One is noticeably taller than the other 2 men.
We generate this sheet using Nano Banana Pro in Flow. Now we have 2 completely distinct character reference sheets. We have one for our hero and one for the thugs.
Now we rate the prompt for the actual video clip. We use Gemini Omni Flash for this specific part. The prompt needs a start, a change, and an end.
The woman stands quietly inside the warm dumpling shop. The 3 thugs suddenly burst through the front shop door. She quickly turns to run toward the back kitchen area.
Fable returns a prompt that lays out this sequence perfectly. We switch Google Flow into video generation mode next. We set the duration to exactly 10 seconds.
We attach the hero reference sheet and the thug reference sheet. We also attach that very first frame image we created earlier.
Flow generates a 10-second clip of this exact intense action.
Beat. Whoa! Imagine perfectly directing 3 distinct, consistent characters bursting into a scene, all without ever touching a real camera.
It is pretty wild. What's fascinating here is how the AI handles those traits. We give them a tattoo, a hat, and a height difference. Those distinct details literally act as mathematical anchor points.
They stop the characters from blending together completely during fast motion.
Exactly. Without the tattoo or the cap, they melt together. The AI would turn them into one generic leather blob.
Because it just sees a mass of dark pixels moving fast.
Right, and it tries to average them out. The distinct traits force the attention mechanism to track 3 separate physical objects.
That makes total sense. But let me ask you this. Why limit the prompt to exactly 10 seconds if we have all this great reference material? Why not just generate the whole 2-minute chase at once?
It comes down to how these video models actually simulate reality. They don't actually understand physics or object permanence at all. They're just predicting the next logical state of pixels.
Over long stretches, that prediction math gets very muddy.
The models literally lose track of gravity.
So a 10-second clip is the absolute limit for physical consistency.
Exactly. It keeps the heavy action manageable and highly predictable. If you push for a full minute, the characters will start floating or walking straight through solid walls. The math just degrades too far from the original starting point.
Short bites keep the AI from hallucinating, making it easier to stitch together later. Beat. We will explore how to perfectly extend this chase sequence. Right after, a quick word from our sponsors.
Stick around.
Okay, so we are back to our deep dive. The first 10 seconds of action are completely finished. Our main character is running toward the back kitchen area.
The three thugs are bursting through the front door.
The physics held up perfectly in that clip. But how do we continue the chase seamlessly from here? How do we stop the AI from completely forgetting the scene we just built?
This is where we use the critical extension method. Gemini OmniFlash supports conversational multi-turn edits naturally. You go back to Fable 5 to write the continuation, but you absolutely must follow one crucial rule right here. You have to describe the exact last frame first.
You can't just say what happens next immediately.
No. You must say, the woman just ran into the back kitchen area. She is breathing hard with three thugs chasing behind her. You establish the exact physical reality of that final frame.
Then you add the brand new action sequence next. A man on a motorcycle appears at the back door. He yells for her to quickly get on the bike. She jumps onto the back seat of the waiting motorcycle.
Fable returns a prompt that does two jobs at once. It confirms the last state, then pushes the next action. If you skip confirming the last frame, it breaks completely. OmniFlash will completely lose track of the entire scene momentum, because remember, it lacks object permanence completely.
Right.
By describing the last frame, you give it mathematical context. You are reestablishing the physical momentum of those pixels.
It is a lot like a relay race, you know?
Oh, that is a great analogy, actually.
The AI has to firmly grab the baton first. It must confirm the last frame to gain visual traction before it can run forward into the brand new action.
You stay in the exact same video session in Flow. You paste the prompt from Fable into the edit box. You generate another 10-second segment of the ongoing chase.
Flow picks up from the very last frame perfectly.
It calculates the new motion vectors based on your text. It moves seamlessly into the new motorcycle escape scene. Then you must drag both clips into your video editor.
You look closely at where the two clips actually join. You usually see a small jump right at the cut. The lighting might flicker, or a hand might twitch.
You trim a few frames off the start or end. This completely hides the seam between the two generated clips. It makes the action look entirely continuous and smooth.
Wait, but if I'm already in a continuous chat session with OmniFlash, why do I have to manually reattach the character reference sheets repeatedly? Shouldn't the AI just remember what she looks like from the previous 10 seconds?
You would definitely think so. But video generation models suffer from rapid visual memory degradation. Think of it kind of like making a photocopy of a photocopy. Each new generated frame becomes slightly less accurate than the last.
Oh, I see.
The sharp edges of her face start to blur. Her red jacket starts to look a little faded.
The AI gets lazy with the details over time.
Exactly. Without the original anchor, the visual data degrades very quickly. Reattaching the original character sheet completely resets the AI's visual baseline. It forces the model to look back at the master blueprint. It recalculates her exact facial structure for the new clip.
Even in a continuous chat, the AI needs the original photo to prevent drifting. 2-sec silence. And I assume this applies to new props, too. If you want to add completely new things, like that motorcycle waiting in the back alley, you must make a new reference sheet for it first.
Absolutely. You build it exactly like you built the character sheet. You prompt Fable, generate a still image in Flow, and attach it. Otherwise, the AI is just guessing what a motorcycle looks like, and it might give you a bicycle with a jet engine attached.
2-sec silence. Let's zoom out from the specific timeline for a minute. We have talked a lot about the mechanics today, but let's look at the overarching philosophy of this entire system.
It all comes down to a very strict, reliable loop. You write the highly detailed prompt inside of Fable 5. You generate the image or the video in Google Flow.
You check the visual result carefully.
Then you extend the scene by confirming the last frame. You push the new action forward. Then you join and trim the clips in your external editor. You repeat this loop until you have every story segment.
So what does this all mean? The core lesson here is to start very small. Focus entirely on one single character at the very beginning. Build one perfect character sheet to practice this workflow. Pay attention to how the AI handles the neutral background.
Generate one flawless 10-second video clip of simple action. Do one clean extension and one simple edit pass. Master this basic loop before building a massive action sequence.
Beat. I invite you to try this workflow out tonight. Try building just one character sheet of your own design. See if you can maintain their face perfectly across 2 scenes. Try placing them in 2 completely different environmental background settings. It will completely change how you think about AI video.
If this is the incredible storytelling fidelity we can achieve right now, just by manually stitching together short 10-second AI clips, what happens to the entire film industry very soon?
When these video models can natively hold character consistency perfectly.
For a 2-hour feature film without any human trimming required.
That is a truly staggering thought to leave you with. Thank you for exploring this deep dive with us today. Keep experimenting and pushing the boundaries of these amazing tools. We will see you back here next time.